news on WLBT News starts now.
And we continue to follow your breaking news tonight. 6 former Rankin County officers pleading guilty to charges related to the torture and abuse of 2 black men.
Their charges stem from the beating and sexual assault of Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker. The officers include former Rankin County deputies Brent McAlpin, Jeffrey Middleton, Christian Dedman, Hunter Elward, and Daniel Opdyke. Joshua Hartfield is a former Richland police officer. Tonight, 3 on Your Side's Joseph Doring breaks down their charges as federal officials condemn their actions.
When 5 former Rankin County deputies and 1 former Richland police officer entered Jackson's downtown federal courthouse Thursday morning, they were free men. But after being read their charges by District Judge Lakeisha Greer-Isaac, they then moved to District Judge Tom Lee's chambers, where they were put in handcuffs. Their lives forever changed for trying to cover up the January 24th assault of 2 black men, Michael Corey Jenkins and Eddie Parker.
Gathered on the porch of the house to discuss how to cover it up. What indifference, what disregard for life.
Following the full day of court hearings, U.S. Attorney Darren LaMarca revealed that the officers planted Jenkins and Parker with methamphetamine from a previous case, as well as a BB gun that was used as part of the torture the officers conducted that night. The charges brought against the 6 men include conspiracy against rights, deprivation of rights under the court of law, conspiracy to obstruct justice, and obstruction of justice.
The actions of these defendants not only caused significant physical, emotional, and psychological harm to the victims, but also caused harm to the entire community who feel that they can't trust the police officers who are supposed to serve them.
United States Assistant Attorney General Kristen Clark found the incident report and the case to be unfathomable and reinforced that justice will be brought to any form of police misconduct.
The defendants in this case wanted to send a message to the victims that they didn't belong in Rankin County, but we have a message of our own. Abusive law enforcement officers will not be tolerated in any of our communities, and we will pursue justice and accountability whenever and wherever police misconduct rears its ugly head.
All 6 defendants will enter guilty plea deals August 14th. Judge Lee has set tentative sentencing dates for November 14th through the 16th. Reporting from federal court in downtown Jackson, Joseph Doring, 3 on Your Side.
Now, attorney for the victims, Malik Shabazz, releasing a statement saying these guilty pleas are historic for justice against rogue police torture and police brutality in Rankin County and all over America. Significant time behind bars is ahead for all defendants. Today is truly historic for Mississippi and for civil and human rights in America. He has scheduled a press conference for noon Monday.
Well, tonight we're also hearing from Rankin County Sheriff Brian Bailey. He says reading today's court documents is the first time he's finding out what really happened January 24th. The sheriff says he did question the former deputies after this incident happened. However, Sheriff Bailey says the men all lied to him. He says it was not until June when one of the former deputies came forward and told him what really happened that night. After finding out, Bailey says he fired 3 of the 5 former deputies. The 2 others had already resigned. The sheriff is disappointed in their actions, and he tells us he had no idea the men were conducting themselves in this way.
When this first came out and I read, the only information I had was what the lies that they told me that night, and then a statement from one of the victims' family members. And I said, oh my gosh, that can't be true. And then the red flags kept popping up. I said, you know what? If that's half true, that is horrible. If it's a quarter true, it's horrible. I didn't know it was going to be 110% truth. It's like, this is still unbelievable, and I'm still just nauseated and sick to my stomach about it. And again, I apologize to the victims, to the citizens of this county, and I promise you I'm going to do my best to fix it.
Sheriff Bailey says he will work to regain the community's trust. He says he's going to do that by holding deputies more accountable. The sheriff says the department is updating its body cam and taser policy. He's also bringing in a compliance officer to make sure deputies are following policies and procedures put in place.
Mississippi Attorney General Lynn Fitch released a statement saying, in part, this brutal attack caused more than physical harm to these two individual victims. It severed that vital trust with the people. This abuse of power will not be tolerated. The Attorney General's office is committed to delivering justice for these victims and for all Mississippians. You can see more information on WLBT.com.